Welcome. It's Relationships at Work, the leadership podcast helping build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots. I'm Russel Lolacher, the host of the show, communications, leadership expert, couple of successful decades in both those areas, whole heap of curiosity too, just like yourself, on how we can make the workplace a better place. Welcome once again to one of our mini episodes. These are solo episodes. They're also quick. They're also valuable. They are helping to reset your brain on things you might need to think about for the weeks, months, years ahead. Sometimes they're even reminders. We know this stuff, but it just has to hit us at exactly the right time for it to matter, for it to be implemented. Yeah, well, that's what the mini episodes are for. So let's get into what the topic is today. This one, how do we know we're good leaders? Are we even looking at the right scoreboard? If you asked most organizations how they measure leadership, you'd probably hear about performance metrics, projects delivered on time, KPIs met, budgets respected, and they're all important. But I need to be clear. I've said it before on the show, and I'm going to say it again. Delivering is not leadership. It's a result of leadership. Performance measures are about the what. Leadership is about the why and the how. It's the journey of creating an environment where people can do their best work, where they feel valued, and where trust is built over time. Leadership isn't a final destination. It's not one you just check off. It's an ongoing practice. Yet too often, far too often, we as leaders end up chasing the wrong scoreboard. We define success by external validation, promotions, income, recognition, without stopping to ask, what does successful leadership look like for me? And how do I know I'm on the right path? That self-reflection, that self-work. And it's not surprising that we look at those metrics I mentioned, because that's how leadership has always been measured. It's generally easier to point to these metrics and go, look, leader, did a thing. But we have to stop perpetuating this problem. So why let the organization take on all the weight of this? We have to define leadership for ourselves, because if we don't, someone else will. And that might not be true leadership. What that actually might mean is our organizations quietly telling us that success is meeting deadlines or avoiding complaints. It might mean our boss equates success with keeping problems off their desk. But is that the mark of good leadership? Spoilers for everybody. No, it's not. When we fail to self-identify, we risk becoming managers of tasks instead of leaders of people. We risk confusing efficiency with impact and delivery with growth. By taking ownership of how we measure our leadership, we align our actions with our values, not just our job descriptions. So instead of asking, did we deliver the project, we should be asking, did we help people grow while delivering the project? Did we build or erode trust in this process? Did the team leave more capable, more confident, and more connected than when they started? These are harder to measure. I'm not going to lie, they absolutely are. They're harder to measure than numbers on a spreadsheet, but they're the true indications of long-term leadership impact. The irony here is that if you only measure your leadership by outcomes, you might actually even appear successful, while leaving behind disengaged employees, cultural debt, or missed opportunities of growth. That's why it's essential to shift the focus to the journey itself. So the question we're asking for this mini episode, how do we measure our leadership? Here are some ideas. First, listen for growth, not just gratitude. Don't just pay attention for whether people thank you for your leadership. Look for signs they've grown because of it. Are team members stepping into new responsibilities with confidence? Are they developing skills and self-awareness they didn't have before? Leaders create leaders, and growth in others is one of the clearest reflections of leadership success. Another thing we can do is check the temperature of trust. Trust is the currency of leadership. Ask yourself this: do people bring you the hard truths, or do they hide them? Do they share their ideas openly, or hold them back out of fear? Successful leadership shows up in the trust people extend to you. Not because you hold a title, but because you've earned it through consistency, honesty, and humanity. And finally, what we can do is we can align our actions with our values every single day. Leadership isn't about what you say in platitudes. It's about what you do in moments of pressure. Measure yourself against your values. Did you meet the value? Did you skirt around the value? When deadlines loom, do you cut corners on people or double down on supporting them? When conflict arises, do you avoid it or do you step in, maybe with a little bit of courage? Consistency between your values and your behaviors is the ultimate scorecard when it comes to measuring our leadership. How did you handle COVID? That was such a huge litmus test for a lot of leaders. It's easy to look like an okay leader when nothing bad is happening, but when something as monumental as COVID comes and it's such a dynamic shift, how did you handle it? How did you handle the shift to remote work? How did you handle it when it was mandated that everybody come back? Great litmus tests. Leadership isn't a trophy. It's not something that we win and we put on a shelf. It's a daily practice measured not only by what we deliver, and let's be clear, we still have to deliver, but it's also about how we enable, empower, and connect with those around us. Delivery is so important. I have to stress that because even though I push the pendulum the other way and say people, it's about the people, you still have to deliver. Both are important. It just can't be the only thing when it comes to delivery if we truly value leadership. So when we think about our leadership, don't just ask if we hit the target. Ask if we brought others along with us, if we grew in alignment with our values and built trust that lasts beyond the next deadline. Because again, this is the long game. That's the scoreboard that matters and the one we should be paying attention to. And that there is the end of another mini episode of Relationships at Work, a leadership podcast helping build workplace connection, improve culture, and avoid blind spots. I'm Russel Lolacher, again with you every Thursday with these mini episodes. I hope you enjoy them. But that's not all we do every week. We do 2 episodes every week. Mondays, we have an amazing guest from around the world providing insights on leadership that, you know what? They're going to resonate. They're going to actually shift your perspective. I know mine certainly has. We're 350 episodes in. How could I not? And if you've been with us for a while, I know your brain is a bit bigger too. So I hope all this value is hitting you where it needs to. If you want to reach out and tell me how it's working, how it's not working, some ideas for the show, please reach out. hello@russellolacher.com. That's hello at Russell with one L, Lolacher, Lola and Share, the two names, .com. Got it? See, I want it to stick in your brain because I know you probably don't have a pen and a piece of paper right now. All right, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you again soon.